Some time ago, I covered one of the OG SM64 ROM hacks of the past, and for its time, it felt just as revolutionary as the original Super Mario 64 was for its first 3D outing. But the thing is, that was my first N64 ROM hack I played, not counting Kirby and Mario 64, that's just a reskin. But the second one I played was something out of a fever dream for my ROM hack virgin eyes. So as many people have come to learn as time flies by is the knowledge of what we could have gotten as a true sequel for Super Mario 64. But with the failure of the disk drive and the villain arc Nintendo created for Sony, and man, what a fall from grace they would become in the later years. For some, many will consider Super Mario Sunshine as the official sequel to the N64 classic. Some are idiots. Idiots who think that the game is bad, and whenever I hear them complain about why Sunshine is bad, they always tend to sound like a Boost Sonic fan playing any other classic 3D Sonic game without the boost, and you just know they're gonna say it's bad because they probably suck at it, and because it requires more than 4 buttons, as well as more brain cells to be used. Yeah, I said it. You're bad. You actually fucking suck. Get good, my dude. No, no, but seriously. That statement makes me worry about Frontiers a little bit, to be honest. But back at the topic at hand, with disk drive being scrapped and the N64 past its prime and the GameCube reigning supreme, it was up to fans as usual to create that true sequel experience from their beloved title, and sometime in the future, it was done.
Let's go!
Super Mario Star Road is a ROM hack by Skrillex and was published on December 24th, 2011, so you already know some people's Christmas was great. The game has a complete overhaul from what you may have once known from its prequel, and yes, I will consider this game SM64's sequel. And today on this Mario Monday, I will tell you why that is. So the game opens up with its custom logo, custom Mario noise, custom everything, man. No unskippable cutscenes here, no bothering text box. The game in Skrillex knows that you've played the prequel, and talking to Yoshi and Toads are completely optional, but you did it anyways, just to see what they and the rest of the NPCs that help you out would say. The castle grounds being replaced with Star Leap Tower Grounds, a mouthful of a title to say, I know, but look at this. Toads vibing, some drawing pictures, this one Toad begs you to save his spaghetti from Koopas, this other Toad gives you a star, then is stuck here for the rest of the game. It's pretty morbid when you think about it. Birds chirping, Mario yahooing around. At first it seems kind of like barren, but at the same time it breathes more life here. And how could you not be impressed with this? And need I remind you, this was released in 2011. This was pretty damn great to see it for its time, and still fucking is. So anyways, the main story is Bowser is once again up to no good, stealing stars, and Mario must venture out to gather enough stars to open his way to the Star Road. Yes, we indeed go to the place in which this game is named off of. This time around, it's more than just Peach's castle, and the game is just as big as that concept is. Wait, does that make any sense? Whatever, you all get what I mean, I hope. As I had mentioned before, everything here is pretty customized, and in general, the whole entire game is original in layout and design wise. So the first level that we're going to go into is Bob-omb Island, since, you know, Toad's painting is here, and we could respect his wishes to not scratch the painting or anything, but we're definitely going to ignore him for that. Bob-omb Island, not a battlefield this time, but once again, the big black king is at it again, shooting water balls from the sky, a chain shot without a stomp to unlock, and instead of pink Bob-ombs as allies, they're blue. Huh, now that I think about it, if all of this is happening within Toad's painting, I think this Toad needs to go seek some serious therapy. I'm just saying, I'm a little bit concerned for his mental well-being. Anyways, the war between the two factions waged on, and with the black bomb's sunken ship as the blue bomb's pride, accomplishment, sheer ruthlessness, unlike the pink one, which lets you know that boys rule while girls drool, I guess. So unlike King Bob-omb of the past, this guy takes 4 throws to beat. And not only that, he's even faster, well at least by a little bit, but you shouldn't have issues on that forefront. And since I'm no longer a little bitch baby, I can do the bomb clip to get this star earlier than I should have. Man, I love this game so much, and its janky glitches and exploits. Sky Resort is the second course and resides within the castle's vase. Star magic. What can I say? It makes wild things happen. And if Mario can fit inside of a jar because of some weird islander crab thingy shell. I don't know what the hell this slug guy is, but yeah, it makes complete sense in the Mario universe. Sky Resort replaces Thwomp's Fortress, and the whole sequential acts play a part here. Even if by a little bit, it's still something to really bond over, because at first you defeat Thwomp, who not only jumps higher, but is a little bit more thicker. But the reason for that is because this is a different king from the King Thwomp we knew in the prequel. Luckily, you can still perform the ground pound trick, though you best be careful, otherwise the whole... Oh. He's dead. Of course he's gonna be easy. You're literally using a trick. Well, anyways, after his defeat, just as he said, his gains comes in small numbers, but I still like that what happens afterwards feeling, even if implemented in small amounts. And once again, since I'm more skilled, I can get this star earlier than I should have. Fuck the caps. I'm a pro gamer, bro. Jesus Christ, why the fuck did I say that? Anyways, the last course not residing within star doors is one inside of a pipe. Piranha Plant Pond. This level always gave me a sense of euphoria and still does. A childlike wonder of roaming around what this level ultimately is. A gloomy, mysterious feeling forest among the ruins and nothing but an edgy teen's hangout spot. But within the levels, it's pretty chill and most of the stars consist of climbing things which match with it being a forest and all. Even though the three-dimensional trees here had some jank, but for its time, it still felt good to not just have a PNG to climb. And some stars might make you scratch your head in how they go about its execution, but yet again, we encounter another familiar face, the owl from Thwomp's Fortress, who moved here because of all of the noise, and who could really blame him? Hearing walls go all the time isn't the best for an owl, but a dark forest sure is. And now that I think about it, I don't think ROM hacks really make use of this owl. Sure, Koopa the Quick gets his shine in a lot of various ways, but I feel people should make use of the owl more, even if it is just him flying you up into the sky. He's a cool dude, and for this game it was good to remember he exists again, and being utilized way more than anything Nintendo has ever really done. Speaking of Koopa the Quick, there's a secret level pipe by the river called Mushroom Mountain Town where he resides. I honestly don't know how I ever lost to this dude before, but then again, back in my days, we used keyboard when playing our emulated games. Ah, man, those were some good ass times in school. I can't stress this enough though. I'm glad I can talk about these games I enjoy. Other than that, the red coin is the other star that you really need to get here for now. And so we continue on. But before exploring this actual level, just do what I'm doing first. I swear I'm saving you from a headache in the future by doing this. And with that migraine avoided, we can venture out stress-free.
Here we go!
Apparently there was going to be a Chucky competition to see how far a Chucky could chuck ya if a chuck ya had something to chuck without chuckling at the chuck ya about their chucking object, but they had nothing to chuck. So I guess you could say they chucked out. Yes, my head hurts too. And I suffer trying to fucking make that analogy. I am not sorry. To be honest, there's not much to mention here, and the level feels like a complete square by design and layout wise. I do like the little one-up puzzle Skrillex programmed in here. Most one-ups feel lackluster to get, but this one was pretty kooky to get and fascinating, even if it was just for a brief moment. Since it resides within this level, let's check out the Metal Cap area. Getting there, Mario commits vandalism while Yoshi commits tax fraud somewhere else. But the area the cat resides in is pretty dark when you think about it. Just a giant lizard, dragon, whatever skeleton thing resting spot, and Mario's just yahooing his way around its corpse. Still a good design though, even if Mario is disrespecting this man's resting place. Gloomy Garden is next, and I feel like this level was going with a galaxy feeling to it, but more compressed. Floating platforms, both spinning and stationary, where Piranha Plant Pond had ruins on the ground, this level being in the sky, and the broken boards and concretes. Makes sense from a haunted old castle aesthetic. I can fully appreciate it more now, without the restraint of dealing with keyboard controls. I will pray for you if you decide to play that way for this level. If it wasn't obvious from the other levels tropes, we fight Big Boo, and there's literally no different from the prequel, and we defeat him the same way. Take out this eyeball thing, but more easier since the platform he rotates around spins, so that's like a quick 2 seconds for a star. The other notable uniqueness this level has is its usage of lights in the dark area that acts as platforms, and falling outside of the light sinks you into the darkness. That's some Kingdom Hearts shit, yo. And just like the past levels, this contains a secret path to the Vanish Cap that I won't show you how, but if you play for yourself, your gamer curiosity in the level will guide you before you find the intended hint for it. But speaking of the Vanish Cap, the puzzle of the Vanish Cap area is a great mini level, even if a little random for now. This time containing 2 stars. for now. Red coins and the 5 secrets, but what was neat about the secrets is that you wouldn't know what to do even after hitting the switch to reveal its locations. But eventually, Jumpman's gotta jump, as he's always done. Hint hint, wink wink. With enough stars, it was time to head towards the first boss. The lack of an actual door and just a storage room, one pipe, one pathway to continue, one extra star, all in a swampy sink pit. I find it funny I never questioned why the boss road is a swamp of all things. Like, this is Bowser, why would he be in a place like this? But upon entering a pipe, there's stomping, but no Bowser, just a picture. He's not even here. So instead, in true villainy cliche ways, he sends a henchman, which felt good from a story and lore perspective. Bowser's big cocky this time, and I guess he is pretty busy being all villainy and whatnot. In truth, this feels like something you would expect from a Bowser from the Mario Story 64 game. Either way, the giant piranha plants and giant pipes works well. Easy, sure, but with the way they were spread out in the swamp pits, some areas have blowing wind at you, it still holds up to me, and definitely did catch me off guard, even though I've played this before, but we have to have our slip-ups every now and then, right? One key star down, one key dar janky animation occurs, but nonetheless we get access to 2 more hub areas, Starleap Tower's interior lobby and Flow Pipe sewers. The lobby gives off the vibe of yet again another clear galaxy inspired but original feel to it. This toad explains how the tower can be so spacious because of star magic, which frankly wasn't really necessary, since from my point of view it fits from what I can see. This toad in the music room can't play the piano, sadly. Short guys rejoice, you'll live longer. Tall niggas, we gotta suffer. But the main centerpiece, front and center, is being the lit chandelier, bringing in an elegant appearance as a finisher. The sewers got pipes, I guess, I don't know. The mini retro castle looks awesome in 3D somehow, and the little cracks on some parts of the walls that I feel like was a texture straight from Mario Story. And last but not least, Mario yet again abandons another toad because he can't jump high enough to reach the pipe that he somehow got in here from. I really feel bad for you guys. Jesus Christ, bro, you gotta stop with this. But anyways, Mad Musical Mess is a Rayman level I remember from my childhood, playing on the GBA, the PlayStation 1, then eventually streaming Rayman Redemption, which is like a fan-made definitive edition for it, but without the shitty Rockstar Games quality. Still more love than anything Ubisoft has done, that's for damn sure. I don't care if he's gonna be in the new Mario RPG game, that's just fucking bait. Other than that sad reality, the reality of this level is that to some, it might not have aged the best out of all the other levels in this game, and I'd have to agree, but also disagree. Quite slightly. The thing is, in Rayman, that game was truly hard as hell and got harder the more you progressed through the game and had that arcade quarter stealing feel to it, the death traps, the lightning blast. But in this game, the largest death trap you had to deal with was the sky, and instead of eyeballs shooting lightning bolts at you, you have these goddamn bees.
Not the bears! Ah!
But not only that, the really tight platforming and trying to not slide to your death, all of this is what people might say they hate about this level, but you may call me blinded by nostalgia, but I loved everything about it. Though I should warn you all, don't go down any of the trumpets, it's just a death trap. It still gave me a hard time, but I still, just like back then, accepted its challenge. Returning from the sky and back on the ground, large leaf forest, this level hits home for me. A little bit of a story time, but it reminds me of the days of playing a Bugs Life 64 without a memory pack. I was a young kid and I was ill at the time, and my mom made me some tea, and for the longest of times, I always hated tea because I always felt it was nasty and bland. But she did the taboo of adding sugar and honey into it, and after tasting that, gave me that same warm, sweet feeling, because in A Bug's Life, there's a level similar to this in a much later level, and I remember telling my mom how far I got into the A Bug's Life game. She probably didn't care much, but me sounding more happier than sick and still being as nasally as I was, she smiled and told me I did a great job. Man, typing that felt a little melancholy, not gonna lie. But yeah, this level is overall great. This level gives me good memories. Wiggler returns here and is the reason for why this tree is so goddamn hollow. And Jesus Christ, man, that man has to be a really fat, selfish fucker to be eating up a whole entire goddamn tree instead of just leaves. And I still get that climbing a big tree feel good memories as a kid whenever I play this level. So thank you, Skrillex. I almost shed a tear. So to freeze up my tear ducts, melting snow peaks. And ah shit, more memories are More memories of the better past just came up out of nowhere because of this damn good-ass Sonic Adventure music. Frozen tears aside, this level feels like a giant snow resort or something. Mario's this one-man army in this snowball fight, or some made-up headcanon lore that I just came up with. Beating ice bullies while rescuing babies, and this time the effort needed is more intense when enemies come at you from all angles. You got precise platformings that you cannot screw up on. It's really the only challenge here, but as usual, because of all we had to go through, this baby gotta go. I do like there's a signpost to tell people about the third jump, giving you a boost up even in the steepest of slopes. It's a jolly fun level, but fuck the moving snow hill thingies. Now that was real hell, even if it was goofy as hell. Now before heading to the sewer levels, remember to get burned over 1,000 times trying to enter another secret level through the chandelier that Toad in the music room mentioned before. Sandy Slide secrets, 2 stars for now. The one being the usual of beating the timer, or you can be a madman and collect all these red coins spread about. I remember that being harder when I was younger, but I continuously have to remind myself of the fact I had keyboard controls, but this time it's just a really breeze in reality.
Mamma mia!
Colorful Coral Cavern. I gotta be honest on this one. For some reason, I usually don't mind some water levels, but this one irks me to no end. I genuinely do not know why. It's not bad really, except for maybe the boat ride star, because you have to fucking wait. Maybe it's because all of this outside space and none of it was ever utilized. Sure, it's underwater based, but like 90% of this level, really? I don't know. I love the air bubbles as health hearts retextured, the coral reef look at things, the spike bomb cannons, but that's really it. I mean, the on-land ground pound puzzle was great, though you could easily just cheese it to not suffer lava damage, but that's all this level really is. It's just okay. I can't really talk too much about it without feeling aggravated for some reason. Koopa Canyon's next. Once again, Koopa the Quick makes a return in this wide desert. The Pokies textures are from Mario's story instead of whatever derpy shit that they were going with in the prequel. The angry sun from Super Mario Bros. 3 is here, though I actually want to know how that works and what enemy AI that's from. I like this level, and the only thing that seemed tedious was the repeated climbing up the hill to the main populated area. I can say I was pretty relieved but disappointed to mess up getting one of the secret coin stars, because as soon as I messed up, I touched the sand but I didn't sink. Like, what was up with that? I could have sworn back in the past that made you sink. Where's that punishing difficulty that makes me want to just break a keyboard? Oh wait, no, I don't have a keyboard. I mean, I have a keyboard, but I wasn't playing with the keyboard. Anyways, other than that, you get your expected desert exploration and spelunking around. Once again, more stars means another boss fight to come. The retro castle is where we enter, and it's like Super Mario World turned 3D. It kind of sucks it's a small interior, and I feel like there could have been more of a challenge platforming base here. But then again, I didn't necessarily play the game like a fucking normie. And just like the first boss area, Bowser doesn't make an appearance, and to match the fiery feel, we fight the bullies and the big bully, but on a spinning platform, which really did not increase the challenge whatsoever, like at all, for me that is. I might have just gotten lucky, I don't know, it just wasn't hard, even with the little flame spewing thingy. Another key, another hub area, which is pretty small, which can't be said for the next level. Cloud Rail Station is a huge cloudy area in the sky. It's got giant beanstalks, chain choms, trees, bees, and thwomps. It's kind of a lot. It's good, but slow. Definitely has that Mario story inspiration to it. Just don't fall off, especially if you're trying to be like me and get the red coins and 100 star coin combo, as I typically do. This level can get cheap, not just because of the bees. Certain platforms in the air rotate except the ones with coins over them, and overall the best thing to do first is to make your way to this pipe on this leaf. This will lead you to the wing cap area. The final cap needed, but not really if you want to just complete the game. Hit the switch, get the red coins, admire the fact that the red coin star is in the hot air balloon, and then when you get back to Cloud Rail Station, you don't have to worry about getting stuck in this box cloud because you'll have the red boxes enabled needed for the star. I definitely didn't go about this long ass tedious trip and get hit by bees at all, and then end up having to keep repeating that process, and then just to end up forgetting that, hey, I need this power block unlocked. Yeah. That venting no longer being sus. The level, just like any game, isn't so much as rough, but a shift and challenge, or at least that's what it felt like to me at times. But it was definitely an enjoyable one. Well, until you fall off of the level kind of deal. Colossal Candy Clutter. This level feels like just straight up fan service, like playing Super Mario Land 2 but in 3D, but minus going into a robotic Mario's groin just to see that it's all balls. And only balls. Maybe even some Mario Stories toy box chapter. I mean, this level is inside of a toy box after all. As NPCs goes, this level is the last level to mention past allies, with the baby penguin making a return, even though we all could have sworn we sacrificed him in the first game. But I guess he survived, and is all grown up now. Luckily they don't remember what we did to them, but instead want a simple race. Ah, kids. Carefree even after surviving death. Oh, maybe not. Man, what the heck? Ah, shit. Alright. I guess karma's a bitch on that. The rest of the level is like a big playground for you to do what you want to your own leisure. I also managed to do something that caused all the music to go mute. I didn't record what I did because I was late to that realization, so the rest of the level is pretty chill. It's like these desserts and stuff that consist of climbing to the top, but that's about it. Fatal Flames is the last level in this hub area. It's basically a volcano and probably an old Bowser castle from the past, since there's a cool 3D modeled clown car Bowser used to ride in, as well as pictures of him on the wall and a red carpet touch. I like this area a lot. Everything about it seems barren, but when you think of what I mentioned a few seconds ago, why else would you expect more than just platforming here? Whether traversing inside, outside, or climbing structures and the volcano itself, you just have to admire how the pieces of this level come together. Once we have enough power stars, we ready the cannon and shoot towards the stars. And this area, it's just beautiful to look at. So far, it's the better out of all the other hub areas to me. Most of them just felt like normal castle grounds type of vibes with a bit of a palette swap, but Star Road just feels magical to run through, and my only thing I'd say would have been better was adding stars to the bubbly looking clouds, but at least when you fall off you just plummet into the big lake. I enjoyed that as a detail instead of just punishing you by taking a life. And oh yeah, this Toad, I actually don't feel bad for this one. His story was taking the star to see Star Road selfishly just to get stuck, so at least there's a Toad in this game I don't care about, and whatever happens to his fate, he's on his own. He chose his choice. He's a traitor anyways. Ball Bomb Factory, the second to the last level, is a full industrial, mechanical, broken down landfill, or at least that's what I got out from it. Another area I feel is yet again galaxy inspired, kinda sorta. This is another one I honestly don't have too much to say really. There's a post that hints to where you might find a secret passage in a previous level that kind of already discussed, a post making it clear to not always resort to shortcuts, which you should definitely abide by. Even I forgot and somehow ended up suffering the consequences. And another sign letting you know that this pipe leads to a death trap. I completely understand. Have a nice day. If anything, the only star act here that's interesting was the engine link one. The factory is spewing fire from certain vents, and there's just bigger vents just blowing wind. Granted, it always does that. I kind of wish the factory was always in this state just to make it a little bit more challenging when it comes down to climbing up it. But in truth, the level's pretty short. But the Vanish Cap area connecting to this door you can't enter from is pretty cool, but when you think about it, after finding where it is, where it's actually at, it kind of makes zero sense, in all honesty, when you genuinely start to think about how the level layouts are. And overall, this level, just like Chucky Harbor, it just kind of just didn't vibe with me a lot. I like it, but that's all I can really say about it. It's okay. Just okay. But in contrast with the factory, the last level being that of Starlight Runway. And yes, that does sound like a Sonic Zone because it is, but isn't at the same time. You do the mathematics on that one. Replaying this game, I could have sworn this being in space increased the jump height or had moon physics or something. I guess the Mandela effect wins again over my memory. The interior space station, you can see all the moving parts, the green ooze I do not trust to touch, and the hand boss retextured to look like a hand droid. Smart. Very, very smart. but it's not a smartphone, so it's pretty fucking dumb. Outside of the station, you got this star trail. You go all the way to the top for a star, dodging balls left and right just to break your back and just to reattempt and hope that this dickhead doesn't shoot you down. But the only annoyance this level had was the whole cannon shooting Mario through the hoop. And no, I didn't play with save states, so I suffered more. Great idea, the execution was just whack. Still a good level overall. Don't know why this post explains why Mario doesn't use the ladder, but knowing that Mario doesn't really use ladders does kind of feel funny as a concept, but at least it explains why he never actually uses them. Now, with all the stars you needed for the big fight in hand, we enter the final tower to the final road, Bowser's Rainbow Rumble. Aw man, he's gone full gay Bowser this time. Gay jokes aside, the road to the final fight is linear platforming, sliding while using that momentum to jump, asteroids and huge stars that stare into your soul. Really easy. I feel like maybe Skrillex enjoyed all he did from the past levels and decided just give the player a break, as well as himself. He did good when it came down to this game and its level design and layout, even if some did feel kinda lackluster. It made me reflect on the journey and how Mario continues to go to such lengths to beat a gay turtle. And finally, after a long time coming, it was... oh, he's dead. Not gonna lie, the level layout was great for this sequence, but even a decade ago, I remember thinking to myself, this was too easy. Unlike the first game's final fight, it's just, I don't know. And then with the whole platforms falling, it just didn't add too much of a challenge in this game. It was and still is a joy to play this true sequel to Super Mario 64, and just like that, the journey is over. Peach is here, who you can talk to, as well as the many toads. Hell, even the toad that was stuck got down somehow, hopefully safely. But if you think the game is done, then you are surely mistaken, for there's another bonus level if you collected all 120 stars. So as we go to this little spot, we look up and then we enter the sky. This is Hidden Palace Finale. Outside of almost calling it Hidden Palace Zone, this is a small challenge for Super Mario 64 super players. It's a pretty 2 to 5 on the difficulty scale for seasoned players like myself. A few hiccups here and there, but at the end of it, Peach and Yoshi are awaiting Mario.
But wait! There's more!
You think this will leave us with 121 stars, feeling very weird, but Yoshi, being the egg-laying reptile we know, he had a few Easter eggs for us. He decided to add in 9 extra stars that are just replicas, so they don't really rotate. I won't tell you where they are because frankly I talked a lot about this game and I want you all to try your hands at this masterpiece of a sequel. But before I go, I should inform you console purist players out there, still don't know how that's a thing. Kaze and Manwar made this game console compatible a few years ago, though with a few stutters every now and then, reasonably so. I wouldn't know because I use emulators and I like them, so at least there's that for you all. But to continue on, this one's gonna actually be more serious, so yeah. About a year ago, Skrillex had brought up an update about his health and wellness to let his followers know his situation. And I can definitely say fuck cancer, that's for sure. But I do hope he's continuing to be okay. I can't really understand his x-rays, but I just can only hope his health is still good. I know people have had his Star Road sequel, Super Mario Star World, in their watch list, me included, for years, but a person's health always comes first and foremost. And with everything Skrillex was able to manage throughout the years of his time creating stuff in games, he's done a really fantastic job. Whether that's Super Mario 64, Super Mario 64 DS, Mario Odyssey, and even covering game facts and what if scenarios. Continue to thrive on, Boney Man. I wish you the best in your health and life endeavors. So, this was Super Mario Star Road, a fan sequel to Super Mario 64 that anyone that has played it, such as I, will consider its SM64's real-life sequel. This ROM hack has a lot of polish and heart to it, everything down to the level design with a lack of invisible walls, which is freaking amazing, especially for its time. The music's remade from their original game soundtrack and put into this one with the SM64 instruments that just had immense amount of quality to it. it, and the whole thing being completely original and by a fan no less. For 2011, this was a clear example for how major ROM hacks should be like and what it should look like. But to all who stuck around through my whole video, however long it turns out to be, and even this part, thank you. I wanted to push myself to make a long video in a short time span, just to show myself that I can make more videos in this way. Hopefully you all enjoyed what you saw and will check it out for yourself. Check out Skrillex and whatever he decides to do. It is free after all. And with that, I bid you all a good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and good night. Where you may reside, I hope you're doing good, your friends, families, and close ones in your life alike. Again, thanks for watching the video, and until next time, be easy, my friends. Peace out.